Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in during your lunch break. As you pop on here, just say hello and let me know where you are coming from. I am actually in the middle of fasting, so I am not on my lunch break because I'm not eating. So anyways, I'm Amy Christine, and I today am going to talk with you all about keto. So, if you have tried keto before, the keto diet before, let me know below. I would love to know if you've done the keto diet, or if you are on it right now, or if you've done low carb, or like, what other things have you done? Just let me know. So what have you done? What diets have you done? What are you currently doing? I know a lot of people had commented on my post earlier saying that they were doing low carb. And what has worked for you? What are some things that have worked for you? Totally jacked up my bottle right now. So I'm trying to fix it. As you hop on here, hi Casey, I see that you're on. I hope you're doing well. Just pop on here, let me know where you're from and what you want to know about keto. What do you want to know about keto? Totally spilling all over myself, which means I didn't fix it like I had thought. Let's see who else is on here. I don't know if I can see. All right, cool. Well, I don't want to waste your entire lunch break on all of this, but I do think it's really, really important. So just a little bit about myself. I was a huge skeptic. So if you are a skeptic, girl or boy, you are totally my person, because I was a huge skeptic about this. I thought I kind of knew everything. I've been in the health and fitness industry since, gosh, as far as back as I can remember. Even back in high school, people were having me write the meal plans and workout plans. And so this has just been integrated in my life. It's something I fell in love with in my home ec class, actually, by Mrs. Ridge in like 7th grade. I think it was 7th grade. I just fell in love with nutrition and with understanding our bodies and food for fuel. And so this whole keto concept was brand new to me, because I had been taught, just like we all have been taught, about our food pyramid, right? And even building muscle, like we need carbohydrates and we need proteins, and so I had this conception that that's what we had to do. And so keto teaches the very opposite, actually, and kind of flips that pyramid upside down. And so it was really confusing for me at first, because here, even in like the fitness world, or if you're in bodybuilding and things like that, you're taught you are eating the clean, healthy carbs with the protein, and that's how you build muscle. But so this totally didn't just flip the pyramid. This totally flipped everything that I had learned and everything that I had thought I knew. But I had reached a point where I was really open to new possibilities and really open to what else is there out there, because I had tried everything. I was in a place of feeling exhausted all the time, extreme mental fog. I had high anxiety, very, very high anxiety, seriously stressed. I was not sleeping well, but I was tired, and the moment I'd get in bed, I'd toss and turn, and come 3 p.m., I was ready to crash. I felt terrible, truthfully. And I lived on pre-workout. I was taking pre-workout to get up in the morning and to function throughout my day. And then I'd experience this crash. And so keto totally, it preached that, hey, this will give you energy. This will give you better sleep. This will curb your appetite and curb your cravings. And I was like, what? Like, this seems too good to be true, but like, how is that even possible? And so I'm going to explain it to you like this. We have 2 fuel sources. So I always imagine it as like this light switch, right? You can only have a light switch working up or down, right? It's either shut off or it's turn on. Like you can't be in the middle, because in the middle does nothing, right? And so our bodies are kind of the same way. We have this internal on and off switch. And so we are either operating in glucose or ketosis. When what that means is glucose state is the energy we are getting and burning is all from the sugars that we are eating. And you might say, well, Amy, I'm doing low carb. Cool. Guess what? You're still going to be tired. And I'll explain why later. It's because you're not flipping that switch. And I'll explain why. So you're still eating carbohydrates, right, to function. And so carbohydrates come in all forms. They come in their vegetables, their fruits, and then there's the obvious. There's breads, there's grains, there's actual sugar like maple syrup and candy and, things like that. Now, unfortunately, if you are not used to looking at labels, this is something you guys must begin to do, because there is sugar hidden in everything. Like, I'm not even kidding you. There is sugar hidden in everything. And most of the time, if you don't know what that ingredient is, you can't even say it, it's something you shouldn't eat. And a lot of times it's just another name for sugar. So stay away. I say stay away. There's nothing good that is going to come out of that, right? So you're operating in a state of glucose because that's what you're giving your body. And we have given our bodies glucose, and we've been operating in a state of glucose from early on in life. If you were breastfed, you were actually in a state of ketosis because you were operating without all of the carbohydrates. You were actually operating on high healthy fat diet. And so, kids, if they are young and breastfed, they typically, are super duper healthy. They have lots of energy. They sleep well. And so they too experience the same things that we can experience. Well, if you're operating in a glucose state, this also means that you're burning through sugars fast, right? And so this comes in all forms of cravings, of being hungry all of the time, of having energy crashes, of having the brain fog, because you're not fueling your brain with healthy fats, which is what it needs to operate well. And you're also, sugars you burn through quickly. So when you eat, all of a sudden, you might have a spike of energy and then you crash. And it's because you burn through it really quickly. And then all of a sudden your body is on empty. And it's like, give me more of that. Give me more of that. I need more of that because I need energy. And so it becomes this vicious cycle of give me more, right? And so then you're like, why am I hungry? I just ate. I don't get it. I'm starving, right? And so then you're eating a hamburger, or you're eating, chips and fries and whatever that may be, and or rice and so that's a healthier option, right? But it's things that are still full of carbohydrates. Any carbohydrate in your body internally turns to sugar, so AKA glucose. And so we burn through it, and then we hit a wall, and our body says, give me more, give me more. We have the cravings, we have the constant hunger, and you're just always thinking about food, right? And then you're tired. You're having those crashes. You're tired. You can't wait and then you're agitated, because we all know when you're tired, you get agitated, right? And so it's just not a great state to live in. Now, unfortunately, most of us have just operated that way, and we don't know any different. We're like, this is life. This is how it is. This is just how my body is. And that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. And so if you flip that switch on to ketosis, guess what? You will begin to operate off of fat, utilizing fat for fuel. And this comes from fats we are eating, as well as fats that we have on our body, right? And we always have fat on our body to utilize. So what happens is our body burns slower through the fats, and on top of it, we always have it available. So we're not going to feel hungry all of the time, because it's going to kick into utilizing your own fat for fuel. You're not going to have the cravings, because guess what? Now your body isn't saying, give me more sugar, because it's not running on sugar, right? You're running on healthy fat. So it's going to naturally actually curb your appetite as well as your cravings. And you have an insane brain boost because your brain needs those healthy fats, those omega-3s, right? And so DHA, like that is so important for our brain. So we're going to have more mental clarity. We are going to operate at a higher level. And because we have more energy and focus, we're going to get stuff done quicker, right? And so there are so many incredible, incredible benefits to being in ketosis. So how do we get there, right? Can everybody agree? Like, yeah, there are serious benefits to being in ketosis, right? And I didn't even cover all of the benefits. There's a lot of other benefits, but these are the main things. So if you agree, just say, heck yeah, like ketosis. Which state would you rather operate in, glucose or ketosis? Let me know below. Okay, so here's the deal. As I mentioned before, most of us are operating in a state of ketosis, and we literally have no idea what ketosis even looks like. We have no idea. And so this is where the diet has come in, right? Now I want to talk to you very briefly about this diet because so many people are like, oh yeah, it's fat. It's here and there, just like Atkins or just like, whatever. And don't get me wrong, like there are other good diets. There are other diets that will produce results, that will help you to feel better, that will cut out the junk. Like the main goal here, guys, is to eat healthy whole foods. But ketosis puts y'all on a whole nother level because now you're not operating, you're not operating through getting your energy through ketosis, right? So in order to make that happen, let's dial back. This is not new. Okay, it's now a buzzword because we've heard more about it. People are talking about it. People are talking about ketones, all of these things, right? And so you might be like, I don't know what's right. I don't know what's good. I don't know, all of these different things. And so keto diet is not new. It actually was discovered in the 1920s, and it was for epileptic kids. And they found that when their bodies were in a state of ketosis, it greatly reduced their seizures. And so, if not eliminated them. And so take us back to, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe more than that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. Our Navy experienced a very similar thing. And so our Navy SEALs were diving and some were passing out, some were not, some still had energy to go and they were underwater. And so they did a study and they were like, I need to understand why some are passing out and some are not. And they found that the ones that were sustaining their energy, that were doing well, that were focused, were in a state of ketosis. They had a higher level of ketones in their blood. So that's where this conversation now has become, up and coming, is because of those recent things. And so our Navy actually now is in ketosis all of the time. And so that's the really awesome thing about it. So this is not new. This is not a fad. This is not going away. And it's literally our native state of being, because as I mentioned, as babies were born in ketosis and we stay in ketosis for a long period of time, right? Like we don't until we get introduced foods, depending upon what your mother fed you, maybe you stayed in ketosis and maybe you didn't. I don't know. Ask your mama. But she'll know what she fed you. But it's really important to keep our bodies in ketosis. And because most of us, like myself, had been in glucose state for so long, I didn't even know what it felt like to be in ketosis, but our body is going to naturally want to shift back to its default. And because, 30 years of being glucose, of course, it's going to want to like shift back all of the time, right? Until you establish a new norm, a new you. And so that's what this is about. Like, let's establish a new norm for you. A new healthy norm, a new energized norm, a new excited norm, a better mood norm, a better sleep norm. Like all of those things are so important, guys. Like what would it mean for you if you could operate at a higher level all of the time? If you had more energy all of the time? If you woke up easier all of the time? If you, when your head hit the pillow, you fell asleep and had solid rest? What would that mean for you? What would that mean for your work life? What would that mean for your home life? No more energy crashes, no more feeling in a fog and you can't think properly, and you're full of stress and anxiety. Like what would that look like for you? Like if there's something on your heart, like type it below, because we're a community here. We're all about being transparent and loving one another, encouraging one another. Like what would that mean for you? And maybe right now it's hard to even imagine because you've just been operating in a state of fog and stress and tiredness all day, every day. But guys, it is possible. And so the key, how we get there is through, there's two different ways. One is exogenous and one is endogenous. And what that means is one is through consuming ketones outside of your body, and the other is producing ketones inside of your body. And so with the diet itself, what that breakdown actually looks like, in order for your body to begin making ketones, which then will put your body into ketosis, it would have to look like your diet is 70 to 80% healthy fats and 20 to 25% protein and 5 to 10% carbohydrates. Now, what I said earlier was, guess what? Vegetables are also carbohydrates, right? And so we have the obvious, we have the grains, we have the rice, we have the bread, like all those things, like we know, yeah, those are carbs, right? But what about the vegetables, right? What about all of these things? And so those ratios have to be perfect for your body to begin making ketones. And so it is possible to do, guys, because as I mentioned, once you flip that switch, you're not even going to want those carbs anymore, right? However, it's definitely tough. It's tough at the start. And so this is why I will tell you, I do not believe in just low carb dieting without being in ketosis. And it's not because it doesn't work. It's not because it doesn't help you lose weight or help you to, feel better or maybe even reverse some medical issues. But the reason why I can't fully get on board, shouldn't say I don't believe in it. I don't fully get on board with it. And it's because you're not shifting your body into ketosis. If you're not shifting your body into ketosis, guess what? Your body's still going to be screaming at you every day, wanting, give me that bread. Oh, look at those chips. There's that pizza. Did you stop by the snack shack? Oh, I see all those treats, right? So that, when you want it all of the time and it's constantly screaming at you, yeah, Charity's saying I agree. It's constantly screaming at you. And so you might have great self-control for a while, but I promise you one time you're going to break and then you're like, man, I missed that bread. I'm not going back. I'm not doing that again, right? And so this is why I can't get on board with just the Atkins diet, which y'all, I tried. South Beach, tried it, and I failed. But here's the thing. You have to flip the switch. If you don't flip your switch from glucose to ketosis, you're constantly in a battle with your body, because your body is going to say, burning through, I'm tired, give me that. Give me more of that. I need more energy. I need more energy. I need more energy. So feed me those carbs and sugars because I need it. Because that's your energy, right? And so what you're doing is this constant battle. You're going to still be tired. You're going to still have those cravings. You're going to still want to eat all of the time. You're not going to sleep that great, right? You're still going to have that mental fog because you're not flipped over into ketosis. And so this is why I say, if you're going to do, sorry, I just said, this is the real Amy coming out. If you're going to do a diet, do something where you're actually going to receive all of the benefits, right? If you're going to do something hard, like do the hard that's going to get you all the benefits. And so the keto diet is the one that is going to actually give you the energy, reduce stress within your body, and truly like light your metabolism on fire, light your brain on fire. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel so, so good. But like I mentioned, like you're completely flipping that triangle upside down. So your main diet is consuming healthy fats. I can't say that enough, guys. You cannot live on hot dogs and hamburgers and cheese sticks. Y'all can't. Like that's gonna clog some things up inside, right? So we're gonna focus on healthy fats. We're gonna focus on olive oils and avocados and nitrate-free. Yes, you can have bacon and you can have grass-fed meats and you can have coconut oils and nuts and seeds and like fish and meat. Like those are the things, salmon, those are things that you want to be focusing on, right? So eggs, great other source. So that is what you have to do in order to get into ketosis, right? Or you can do fasting. There's water fasting. Fast for 3 days. Y'all don't eat for 3 days and drink water and you will be in ketosis. Who's ready to sign up? Okay, me neither. So there's different ways you can put your body into ketosis, right? But it takes time. It takes time. If you're shifting your body, as I mentioned, you're shifting your body over, it's going to take time to break that cycle. And so it could take a week, it could take a couple of days, it could take a month for your body to start producing its own ketones. And that means you have to be on a super strict diet for that amount of time, right? In order to make that shift. And so, yes, the reboot gets you into ketosis. So that is also a 60-hour fast, but you have supplements to help support you. You have ketones to stave hunger, to curb cravings, appetite, all of the good stuff. So plus you have bone broth and stuff in there. So yes, you will be in ketosis. And I'll cover a little bit more about that in a little bit. So that's not just a strict water fast. As I mentioned before, this is something that's actually going to help you. We call it biohacking our system because you're not going to feel like you're starving throughout the entire thing. And so you can do these different things to get you into ketosis. But like, what if there was an easier way? What if there was an easier way, guys? Because there might just be. So there is. And this is actually what our Navy uses. Our Navy uses these puppies right here. Right here. And this is where I'll tell you my biggest skepticism came in. I can still smell it. It's delicious. I was like, there's no way. I tried every supplement in the book. You're telling me that I can drink ketones and in 30 minutes to an hour have mental clarity, have energy, have focus, sleep better, put my body into ketosis. And that is all I have to do? I was like, no way. My girlfriend was like, Amy, come on, y'all just need to try it. Yes, so Kelly, our product is what they use. That's where it came from. And that's why ours is like top notch, the real deal. Purist, all of those good things. So, I decided I'm going to prove my girlfriend wrong. And sure, yes, send me 10 days and I'll try it. But I'm not sure I'm fully on board. And oh yeah, first, it has to be all natural. There has to be no junk in it. There has to be no dyes, no flavorings, no artificial sweeteners. So if it can pass that test, then yeah, sure, I'll try it. Because I'm at my wit's end, feel terrible, gaining weight, cellulite like it's my job. And a single mama at that time of 3 boys, super stressed, no energy, give me something, but I don't believe it, right? I'm gonna try it. So I did. And going into this, I was already eating super duper healthy. I was already low carb in it. I was already working out. Like I was doing everything right, but I did not feel right and I did not feel good. And so I tried it. And I thought, okay, something's going on. stick with this. I'll stick with this. We'll see how it goes, right? By day 7, I am telling you guys, I was popping out of bed in the morning. I was getting stuff done that I had put off and procrastinated on, not because I just wanted to procrastinate, but literally I would sit down to like do it, and my mental fog and anxiety would rise, and I just couldn't get it done. And I was getting it all done. I was like, okay, what did you just give me, first of all? Like, is this legal? First, is this legal? And yes, it is. It is very legal. And so anyways, so I felt amazing. And I was like, all right, listen, I don't fully understand all this yet, but like, I'm telling you guys more than what I ever knew from the start. I just knew I needed help. I needed a shift. I needed a change in my life because I felt like every day was a struggle bus, and I had to live on pre-workouts and caffeine, and I was so impatient and just annoyed all the time and frustrated and stressed, and I knew I needed something different. And so I was like, I'll try it. So I did. And once I tried it for 7 days, I was like, okay, I need this in my life. Adele says, my son asked me if I was doing coke. He was joking, of course. Is this legal? Yes, it's so funny because like literally you're not the only one. Like we've had this conversation with so many people. My husband, actually the same exact thing. He called Brian, his best friend, and was like, dude, if you just gave me something that's illegal, I'm going to be so mad at you. Like, because he was so energized. And so, yeah, it is the real deal. And everybody experiences it a little differently. For me, the first thing I experienced was my energy shift. And all of a sudden, like I said, I was popping out of bed in the morning. I was feeling really great. I was getting things done. I had more mental focus and clarity. And that was like the biggest shift that I experienced first. And I did see a shift in my body within 10 days. And I'll post it below, my 10-day shift that happened within my body. But the thing is, like, there's so much more to this than fat loss. Although, who doesn't want fat loss, right? This is not a weight loss product. As I mentioned, ketosis. We are literally designed to operate in a state of ketosis. I mean, if you go way, way back to the day when we had to hunt and kill things, we were constantly in a state of fasting and feeding. And we were eating animals. We were eating animal fats, right? And that is what sustained us. And so if that's how we were created, why in the world do we think that our bodies would operate better with eating all of this processed food and carbohydrates and things that weren't even around back then, right? Like, God gave us everything we needed when he made us. And what did he give us? Well, whole foods, guys, animals, like that's what was available. And so that's how we operate at our best. And so today, I can say that I am no longer having these energy crashes. I am no longer having like that midday slump and feeling like, oh, I can't wait for my kids to go to bed. Although, well, I still do that sometimes just because. I don't know about you, but like, do your kids go insane at bedtime? They're like, oh, it's WrestleMania time! Like, what happened and where did you put my children? But that's a whole nother story. But anyways, I before was exhausted and I was waiting for them to go to bed because literally I was like, I'm so tired. I can't do this anymore. I can't, right? I was holding on to fat. I was bloated. I wasn't just feeling bloated. I was bloated. I was like inflamed everywhere. I had cellulite. I wasn't sleeping well, brain fog, anxiety, none of that, guys. I don't have it anymore. And now I've consistently drank ketones for almost 2 years now. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary, and I have seen way more than just that. It's been a shift in my entire family, in my entire life. I'm more productive. I am a more at peace and calm mom. I have more patience. I am more energized to run around and play with them. I'm more focused on them. I'm not distracted. I'm not constantly stressed out. And so it's shifted my life. It's shifted my family life by being in ketosis. It is obviously going to help you physically, but it goes far beyond what I thought. It goes far beyond why I ever even started, right? I started because I was tired and I was sick and tired of the fat that was storing on my legs. But it shifted my life. I get stuff done now. My house is in order. My kids are more, I'm able to play with them more, right? Like that is what matters to me. And so I am here to share with you not just about, okay, let's talk about a diet, but let's talk about a whole lifestyle change, a whole we talk about 2020 and this being a new decade. Well, I hate to break it to you, but 2020 is going to be the same exact as 2019 if you do the same stuff. You have to choose to take a chance. You have to choose to do things differently. You have to choose to make a shift. And if ketones can be the thing that puts you in ketosis within an hour, 30 minutes of drinking it, to create that shift so that you can have the energy to be more present with your kids or even get to the gym or to get your work done at night, why wouldn't you give it a shot, right? You cannot keep this mindset of this is just how it is, or I can't do that right now. You guys, I will never go back. I don't ever want to go back. I don't ever want to not be in a state of ketosis anymore. And yes, you absolutely can do it with the diet. You can do it with the diet. Like I eat mainly a keto diet now, but I'm not strict. I'm not counting things because I don't have to worry about it because I know my body's in ketosis. And I just naturally don't want those foods because I'm in ketosis, right? So my energy and my body's saying, give me more healthy fats because that's my energy. Give me more of that healthy food because that is where my energy is coming from. And so I don't crave the sugars as I used to. I don't crave the carbs like I used to. And I don't eat nearly as much as I used to. So a couple of questions that sometimes I get is, Amy, I don't need to lose weight. I want to build muscle actually right now. Can I do that? Yep. Guess what? As I mentioned, this isn't for fat loss. It will happen because it's literally utilizing fat for fuel, right? But you're preserving muscles and building muscles all at the same time. And that is another benefit of ketosis. It helps preserve muscles. And so I will share with you below a picture of my 10-day results, and then I'll show you up till today and what that looks like. And you see this transition in my body, and I actually work out less now than I did when I was inflamed and cellulite because my body's operating better and I'm preserving muscles and I'm burning fat all at the same time. Like, hello, win-win. But so you see a progression. It's like I went from inflamed Amy to then I shrunk down to now built more muscular Amy because I lift heavy. I don't really focus much on cardio, but that's always been me. And so you see this transition of over the 2 years of what that's done being in ketosis. And so for when people are saying, I don't want to lose weight, great. I don't either. I don't even care my weight anymore. I don't step on a scale. My goal is to be healthy and energized and less stress and be present with my kids and live an incredible life. And so I want the same for you. And so if you are here today and you're like, all right, Amy, you're speaking right to me. Like, I need to understand this more. Some of you are here because you have been going through our 10-day challenge, which is so exciting and so amazing. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to see your results. You're just wrapping up your 10 days. It is the time to like decide, okay, you know what? I saw a small shift in just 10 days, or maybe it was a big shift. I don't know. What would happen a year from now? What would that look like, right? It's time to like make that transition because you don't want to go days without, right? And if you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, Amy. I don't know what 10 days is. I don't know any of this stuff. Great. Message me, comment below, say, let me know the details on this thing because I'm tired. I get midday crashes. I don't sleep well. I'm tossing and turning, or I have anxiety, or I have brain fog, or whatever. Any of those things, just say, yes, I want details on the 10-day. And if somebody else invited you into this event, then be sure to tag them in that. Say, hey, Charity or Adele, like this is, I would like to know more information on this because they will best set you up for you. And so we want you to truly make 2020 the best year, the best decade. And it all begins with what you're putting in your body. It all begins with your health. Because if you're not healthy, mind, body, spirit, guys, it's tough to live a good life. And so we are here not to just help you physically, but to truly empower you to live a life that is full of joy and peace and less stress and self-control. You know, that's a powerful thing. And this has helped so much with that. So if you would like more information, please, please, please comment below. Say, hey, I want deets. The best way to get started is with the 10-day experience, which is what I started with. Even if you're a huge, huge skeptic, guys, try it. I was too. You cannot go wrong with flipping the switch to put yourself in ketosis, which is what we're supposed to be operating in anyways, right? That is our native state. So baby, get back to it. Get back to your native state and receive all of those incredible benefits, whether it's the diet, whether it's with ketones. We are here to help and support you in whatever that looks like. But I just want to thank you so much for spending your lunchtime with me. I just adore every single one of you who is present on my feeds, and I appreciate you guys so much, and all of your interaction is so greatly appreciated. It goes beyond words. And so if I can help assist you in any way that is going to lead you to a healthier life, please let me know. I have lots of programs. I have more programs coming out that I'm super pumped about, and I have free stuff too. So if you have questions, please drop them below. I see Adele saying, counting macros sucks. Yes, this has made my life so simple. I don't count anything. I used to count macros, calories. I've done containers. I've done portion sizing stuff. Guys, I don't do any of that. Literally none of that. This has simplified my life so much. And it's cut my grocery bill like way down. So you guys, it's a no-brainer to give it a shot. Truly. And I'm all about simplifying, guys. I will never count nothing again, ever. Because why? Why, when you can do something that is literally going to help you in every single way, and then you don't have to worry about it? What other questions we got? Comments, questions? I'm looking. Will this be posted to watch later? It will be here later. I will see if I can keep the event open, and I will probably get to be able to save this video, and I'll post it on my YouTube. Looking for any questions. I had a conversation with a girl earlier who was telling me that she was having a hard time with shifting her mindset from the previous Beachbody and low-fat mindset to looking at the keto diet and bringing in all the healthy fats. Yes, Angela. I will message you about that. And yeah, it is a hard transition, because if you're taught something of, you know, you have to eat a certain way or eat a certain amount of things. I mean, guys, I was constantly thinking about my next meal and prepping and planning my next meal or my whole week, because with that mindset of like, I have to plan and prep. And yes, also low fat is so not good. Like, our bodies need fat. You guys, our bodies need fat. And so all these fat-free things that were pumped out in America, it is just a load of poop. Like, we need healthy fats. And actually, when that food pyramid came out and they started teaching it, and like putting it in schools and everything, there's actually statistics. I wish I could pull it up for you right now, but you could research it yourself. There are statistics that from when that pyramid with the eat all these grains came out, diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, that's when it went on the rise and shot up. And if you think about it, like our great grandparents or maybe even grandparents, they cooked with real butter, with all of these things, and they did not have all of the obesity and diseases that we have today. And, you know, heart disease is like the #1 killer in America. And that breaks my heart, because that is literally us doing that to ourselves. We don't have to die young or early or cut our life short or live with sickness, because we chose to eat not great, or maybe we didn't know. And that breaks my heart even more, because if we don't know about it, like, it's my job to tell the world about it, because if you don't know about it, it's my job to inform you. Like, there's a better way. Let's make that happen so we don't cut your life short, so that you don't have to live with pills and injections and all of those things. Like, it's possible. It's even possible to reverse it. So if you're sitting here and you're like, man, like, I have that, guess what? You can reverse it. That is powerful. And our genetics don't play nearly what you think in your life. Your genetics are, I'm not going to say the quote because I can't remember specifically what it is, but it literally, I mean, you have like 75% or more control over your health that have nothing to do with genetics. So if you take that into consideration, and we're finding out more and more and more that we can actually literally, like, our DNA does not define us. There are so many things that we can do to alter or help or shift the way we process things, the way that we absorb things into our bodies. So don't take sickness or diagnosis as like, man, my hands are tied and I can't do anything. That's just not true. That's not true. And you also have an opportunity to do things today to impact 50 years from now, 20 years from now, 15 years from now. Like, what you do today and what you're putting in your body today, this is something I talk about all of the time with my students, is it's not about today. Like, yeah, that's great. Pat yourself on the back. You ate great today. But it's not about today. It's about in 30 years. How are you going to feel? Are you going to be healthy? Are you going to be running around? Are you going to be, using a cane? Are you going to be crunched over? Are you going to have knee pain? Are you going to have back pain? Are you going to, be able to walk around? And like, it's not about today. It's about 25, 30 years from now, what your life looks like. Because the small things you do today is slowly painting the picture of your future. So you have to be concerned with today. You have to make choices that are wise today. I was serving down in Pittsburgh one time, and we were talking to a homeless man and giving him some clothes. And we were talking about, how did he end up on the streets? Like, what brought him here? How is he here? And he said something that I will never, ever forget, and that I've been able to talk with my kids they were with me, about. And he said, I was in school, and I grew up normal and had a good life, and I was in high school, and I had lots of friends, and it was this slow progression over time when I saw I was making a decision and my friends made another decision. And then I made another decision and my friends made a different decision. And then I made one more decision and then they made a different decision. And he said pretty soon we had started out the same, but one small, poor decision at a time led me here. It wasn't one event. It wasn't one thing. It was the small decisions over the years that he made that led him there. And we can apply that to everything and anything in our lives, right? So the beauty is that's not you. You might not be in the best spot right now. That's okay. I've been there, right? But the beauty is, with our health especially, we can literally take those steps back by making changes today. And so that is something that is super powerful. So wherever you're at right now, whether you're on the same page as me, or you're like, well, Amy, like I'm my health isn't so great. Guess what? Let's take it in control today. Grab it in your control today and say, okay, today's the day where I make one better decision. And then tomorrow is another decision. And then the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And slowly you're repainting your picture and your future of your health. And that is the power of our opportunity to shift and change our future with the decisions that we make today. So I would love, if any of you have any additional questions. I don't ever eat stuff low fat because I'm aware of the hidden sugar. I drink coffee black and veggies dry. It feels so wrong to add fat back in, but I guess I have to get used to it. Yeah, Katie, it feels weird. It does, because I used to be exactly where you're at. It was like everything needs to be like lower carb or lower fat, or or low even sodium. And it's funny because there is bad fat and there is bad sodium, but there is also really, really good fat and really, really good sodium that our body actually needs to operate at its highest capacity. And so, as I mentioned, those healthy fats are, you need to be eating a lot of them. And that's actually going to shift your health and your brain function. And so healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, salmon, olive oil, coconut oil, like all of those things are super duper important. Cooking with olive oil, or coconut oil, there's so many great things. Ghee or butter, you need it. You need to start adding it back in. It will feel a little weird, but if you do a little bit more research on, why healthy fats are necessary, you're going to begin to shift your mind. Like I am a geek out over like science and understanding like, oh, that does that for the body. Holy moly. Like I've been doing this wrong. Or when I understand, take this, this happens, do this, this happens. Like I geek out over that. And that's what I experienced at first for myself when I initially drank ketones, but I didn't understand the science behind the actual being ketosis and what that meant, and then what eating the healthy fats meant. And so and it could be a slow transition, right? Like start adding MCT oil to your coffee in the morning, or start eating an avocado a day, right? Half at breakfast or half at lunch and half in the afternoon, whatever. And those are things that you can slowly shift and change. And it doesn't have to be this drastic thing overnight. In fact, I actually don't recommend that, because our body can be like, hold up, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden we're like, I'm in the bathroom all the time, right? Because your body's not used to it. So do small little things to just slowly shift over. And you will notice a huge, huge difference. Like I have MCT. I used to drink black coffee, and now I put MCT. Most of the time I put MCT oil in my coffee, and it has helped me so much, especially with my brain function. Like if anything else, I can think clearly now, and I operate at a higher level. And so it is a transition, but and a mind shift, that you have to go through. But when you understand the science behind it, and you understand like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like I need that, then you just slowly do the things to do that. Just like pink Himalayan sea salt is an amazing mineral for your body. And so for a long time, with certain companies, it was like, no, don't put salt on things, and don't, you need to eliminate that. And yeah, iodized salt is not good for you. Table salt, not good for you. Salt that's probably in the processed food, not good for you. But pink Himalayan sea salt is the bomb, and it actually will help your body flush out toxins. So when we are enlightened and aware, and we have the knowledge, like knowledge is power, right? I really truly believe knowledge is power. And so if you can learn those things and grasp onto them, then you begin to try them, and you'll see a shift in your body. Now, remember, we have to do things with the intention of not just doing it once or doing it for a short period of time, but you can't, like, even an antibiotic, like, they're not going to be like, take this once and you're good. No, you have to take it for a period of time to see results. And as I mentioned, physically, I saw better and better results the longer I've been in ketosis. Now, same thing goes for my health. I have really low blood pressure, and I would have sugar crashes as well. And I would get really, really sick when I would not eat, and like not even that long. I would have to eat like every 2 hours, but I would feel nauseous, and I would literally get dizzy and a headache and feel like I was gonna puke or pass out. And if I didn't eat like every 2 hours, like on the dot. And I was probably like, I don't know, 10 months into being in ketosis and drinking ketones, and I realized that doesn't happen to me anymore. And I didn't even realize that my body had changed that much. So it's impacted me in ways that I never anticipated, through the consistency of being in ketosis. As I mentioned, your body's been in glucose for so long. You have to give your body time to really reap the full benefits of being in ketosis. And your body has to take time to regenerate and rebuild and, lengthen telomeres, and which is your lifespan. Like this is like a real deal. So it takes time. And so, we have to go into anything with the longevity mindset instead of like these yo-yos and fads. And like, this is not a fad, as I mentioned before. And so we have to go into with this mindset of like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to make any shifts or changes that I need to, because every body, like physical body, is a little different, right? So your struggles might be different than my struggles, or your strengths are different than mine, or your body chemistry is different than mine. So I work with our people too, because it's like, hey, I'm experiencing this, great, don't quit, let's find a solution, this might be why, right? So we are very, very blessed also to have a team of doctors, of scientists, of nutritionists that all help us with this stuff. And so you also have access to that as well, which is really, really powerful. Good, Katie. I'm glad that cleared that up for you. It will be a bit. Yeah, Adele. Yeah, so she's saying she went into the transition too quickly, which sometimes we do, right? It's like, oh yeah, that was a little too fast, and then you have to kind of taper it back and then go back. But your body will adjust and shift and change, and then you just keep adding in and changing more. So, all right, guys, I know that your lunch break is definitely going to be up in a couple minutes. Hopefully you were able to eat something full of healthy fats. But if you have any additional questions, please reach out. I am here to help and support you. I truly am here just to give you information and to help you live a healthier life, a longer life, the best possible life in 2020 and all the years to come. All right, guys, have a blessed day, and I look forward to chatting with you.